Hey everyone! So over the years, we have found that our clients that contact us about moving to Paso Robles don't always buy within the city of Paso Robles. It's pretty common for our clients to buy here in our wine region, but outside of the city of Paso Robles. Hard to believe, right? I mean, what's not to love about Paso Robles? There is so much to love. But today we're going to talk about 7 of the other popular areas that are here in our wine country region, but are not the city of Paso Robles. And stick around till the end because we are going to tell you at the end which of those areas is our client's favorite and why, and what percentage of our clients that contact us to move to Paso Robles wine country actually purchase inside the city of Paso Robles. So first we're going to head down to Templeton. So it's just a 10-minute drive south on the 101, and we're hitting that one first since it's the closest geographically. It's a much smaller town with just under 8,000 people, whereas Paso Robles has over 31,000, so much smaller. Less to choose from on real estate just because of the size of the area, but it has some gorgeous real estate just like Paso Robles. Price points are just a little bit higher, and there are 2 reasons really for that. One of the reasons is because the school ratings, according to greatschools.org, are a little bit higher in Templeton than Paso Robles. And the other reason is just simply the type of properties that sell in Templeton. There are less homes to choose from downtown, so there's a little bit more of a focus on those high-end ranch properties or acreage properties. Templeton has a historic downtown. It has a mix of some fantastic restaurants. If you've never been to McPhee's Grill, I would definitely recommend that you check that out. There are also some great wine bars. There's a little bit of shopping, and then there's a downtown city park with bungalows and ranch-style homes on city lots surrounding the downtown park. The downtown park has some great little activities that go on. We have concerts in the park. And every Saturday there's a phenomenal farmers market with local goods and vegetables, fruits, honeys, breads, cheeses, all kinds of delicious stuff. So you want to check that out for sure. Once you get a little bit outside of town, the parcels are going to get larger, mostly half-acre to 1-acre parcels in the near town part of Templeton. And then just outside of that, you're going to get into your ranches, your vineyards, and your farms. And you do have a little bit more of hills and oak trees on the west side and a little more open plains on the east side, just like in our other areas of the North County. As far as the real estate prices go, generally downtown, since you have bungalow ranch-style homes on small lots, you're going to start in the 500s for a small bungalow fixer-upper, and you still could crest all the way up to $1 million for a really beautiful home near the downtown city park. Once you get into those acre-sized lots just outside of town, it's generally going to be around $1 million, although some can go higher there too. And then of course, out in the country, you know, those vineyards and ranches and farms can sometimes be 2, 3, 4, or 5 million. So downtown is the most affordable, and then spreading out from there, the prices go up. It is popular in Templeton, just like some areas of Paso Robles, that you'll see more properties with pools and shops and barns. And there are some really upscale gated neighborhoods in Templeton, which we'll feature in a future video. So next up in our video is Atascadero. Just about 5 more minutes south on the 101, you will be in Atascadero. Us locals call it A-Town, and it is the only other incorporated city in the North County of San Luis Obispo. Just Atascadero and Paso are the incorporated cities. Everything else is a town, so they fall under the jurisdiction of the county. Atascadero's population is pretty comparable to Paso, 29,000 versus 31,000. So it's the most comparable in size and also selection of real estate. Most of our clients that do move to Atascadero after having called us about Paso Robles and moving from the big city fall in love with the west side of Atascadero. The west side of Atascadero is gorgeous. It's hilly with oak forest, and there are so many properties that offer an amazing view. We do have a video in the works, which is all about Atascadero neighborhoods, so click the link below. Just like Paso Robles, real estate comes in all shapes and sizes in Atascadero. There are less vineyards, but you'll find just as many condos, bungalows, ranch-style homes, as well as those ranch properties and luxury properties. Prices can be in the 400s to 500s for a condo, and then if you're looking for something that's 2,000 to 3,000 square feet on a few acres and you want it to be nice, then you might be more around that $1 million mark, maybe a little bit less or a little bit more, depending on the size, the finish, and the location. Another cool thing about Atascadero is that the downtown is finally coming around. So if you've been to Atascadero before and you haven't been downtown to look for a restaurant or a wine bar or brewery or any shopping since before 2022, I would say, then you need to take another visit. It's really coming around and there's a lot more to offer. We even have a rooftop bar in Atascadero now, just above a new Italian restaurant called Cielo, which is my new favorite restaurant in Atascadero. It's just delicious. The other thing that our clients love about Atascadero is that it's so central to things to do here on the Central Coast. So you're 15 minutes from Paso Robles and the wineries. You're also only 15 minutes to San Luis Obispo and the shopping, the college, and some employment. And as well, you're only about 25 minutes to the beaches. So it's a really central location for Central Coast living. There are also a few great hiking trails in Atascadero. You're just coming into that oak forest and the hills. And if you love when you drive around Paso on Adelaide Drive, those wineries out there where all the properties are 5 million and up, you can find kind of a smaller version of that in Atascadero in the West Side Hills for a much more affordable price tag. So our clients, of course, tend to love that too. Colin and I were both raised in Atascadero. We grew up here, and it took us until we were well into, I would say, our 30s before we realized that we grew up in paradise. It is absolutely a beautiful place to live. Aww, Atascadero, our little A-town. Next up, we're gonna head just about 5 more minutes south on the 101 to a little town called Santa Margarita. We have several little towns here in our wine country, and we're just gonna give you a taste of one of the tiny towns. So Santa Margarita has less than 1,000 people for its population. It's very small. In our little video drive-by of the downtown, don't blink, you will miss it. It's very small, but it is popular with local residents. It's a little bit more pricey actually than Atascadero or Paso Robles, and that's just because of its proximity to SLO. The closer that you get for most areas in our county to the city of San Luis Obispo, typically the higher the price, with the exception of Cayucos, but we're getting to that. There are just a few restaurants and shops in Santa Margarita, but one of my favorite restaurants is there, The Range. They only take cash. Why? Because they can, and it is amazing. So delicious. Definitely recommend checking out The Range. For properties that are in town, it's going to be more of those bungalows, ranch-style homes on city-sized lots, and there's only going to be a few blocks either direction, so it's not a huge selection. Once you get a little bit further out of town, we also don't see as many vineyards as Paso Robles. There are some. It's more focused on the ranches in Santa Margarita. Once you get 15-20 minutes off the 101, it does tend to get pretty rustic out there. Some people love it, but if you want more details on that, definitely ask us. In Santa Margarita, you will also find Santa Margarita Lake, and we also have Margarita Adventures, where you can zip line over the grapes growing at Ancient Peaks Winery. Okay, now let's take a drive down to San Luis Obispo, the namesake of our county and also the largest city in our entire county at a population of 47,000, about half of which is students because it is a college town, the home to Cal Poly University. Not too long ago, Oprah named the city of San Luis Obispo the happiest city in America. Go Oprah! So for Santa Margarita, we just have that quick little video of the downtown, which, like I said, don't blink or you'll miss it. In San Luis Obispo, once you're downtown around the Mission, which is where the town was built around, you can go for dozens of blocks and you're still going to have shops, restaurants. There's so much more to do there. Some of our clients describe it as a mini Santa Barbara, like miniature, because it's not quite that big, but there is so much shopping there and much more to choose from. It does have a little bit more relaxed vibe than Santa Barbara, in my humble opinion, and it's about half the cost when it comes to real estate, and I think just about everything, except for maybe gas. In our relocation guide, we cover the shopping in both Paso Robles as well as San Luis Obispo, and some of our favorite restaurants are listed there too. If you don't have our relocation guide, it's totally free, and you can click the link below to download it. As far as real estate prices in SLO, you're going to be looking at $200,000 to $300,000 at least for a comparable property in SLO versus what it would cost in Paso Robles. SLO also offers some fantastic hiking trails, including my favorite, Bishop's Peak Trail. We'll highlight that hike in an upcoming video about dog-friendly hikes here in Central Coast Wine Country. Next up on our list is Los Osos. Los Osos is about a 15-minute drive from San Luis Obispo, and it's a straight shot. If you're coming from Paso Robles or Atascadero, you'll have to take the windy roads on the 41 or 46 through the coastal mountains to get there. So it'll take you about 35 minutes, maybe 40, to get from Paso Robles to Los Osos. Los Osos is a relaxed, artistic coastal town that borders the Morro Bay. So it's not a beach town because it sits on the bay, not the beach. Some of the high-end properties have gorgeous sweeping views of the bay, and it has just a couple little commercial areas. The downtown of Los Osos where you'll find your grocery stores and whatnot. And then there's also a little section that's known as Baywood Park that has a couple coffee houses, beautiful views of the bay, and a couple other little shops. Home values in Los Osos are gonna run you a little bit more than Paso and a little bit less than San Luis, with the median being in the 800s. My favorite sushi restaurant in the entire area here is Kuma in Los Osos. It's an eclectic atmosphere with an artistic vibe, like a lot of Los Osos, and it has delicious fresh seafood. Our clients that buy in Los Osos after contacting us about Paso Robles wine country are usually our clients that find that those few weeks of hot weather that we get inland is just a little too much for them. So you're gonna find much more moderate temperatures over on the coast. So if that's a consideration for you, let's talk about the weather. And you will want to keep in mind that in Los Osos, we also do have fog, so it's a trade-off. There are less tourists in Los Osos, just like there are less tourists in Atascadero and less tourists in Santa Margarita. In Los Osos, there are no major large hotels or attractions, so a lot of people love Los Osos because it is such a close-knit community vibe without the tourists. And of course, it's another absolutely gorgeous area here on our Central Coast. Okay, now let's head over to Cayucos. So we're just gonna run a little bit north on the 1. Cayucos is a beach town that is in between Morro Bay and Cambria, 2 more beach towns. But if we talk about every town and city in our Central Coast wine country, this video will be an hour long, and we're gonna keep it a little shorter for you than that. The population of Cayucos is only about 2,000, so it's a pretty small beach town, but it is a little bit more known to tourists than some of the other areas that we've talked about today. So it does have a little hustle bustle going on. The real estate is median of 1.2 million, so it is a high-end area to live in our county here. If you're looking for a beachfront property in Cayucos, that's pretty much gonna start at 3 million and go up from there. But if you just want an ocean view without being right on the beach, then you can cut that price tag in half. Cayucos has some great festivals. I love the Sea Glass Festival and the Fish and Farmers Market. Cayucos is also known for its long sandy beach and the pier, and you can take your dogs off leash in Cayucos. So a lot of locals that live here in Central Coast wine country, but not in Cayucos, love to take a day trip or a half-day trip over to Cayucos. Some of us call it Little Hawaii, although the water is definitely not as warm as Hawaii. It's just as beautiful. I love to take my dogs to the dog beach and then head to a dog-friendly restaurant or brewery to enjoy some delicious seafood. Okay, we are ready for our final city, but remember to stick around to the end when we announce which of these areas is most popular with our clients that contact us to move to Paso Robles wine country, and we'll also share what percentage of the clients that we have had contact us in the last couple of years purchased within Paso, and what percentage purchased outside the city of Paso Robles. So stick around. For our finale, we are visiting Arroyo Grande, known to us locals as AG. It's about 45 minutes south on the 101 from Paso Robles, but it has a really similar feel to Paso Robles. There are ranches, there are dotted oak trees, and some of our clients are looking for a little bit more moderate weather, closer proximity to the beach, but they still want that Paso Robles wine country feel, and you can definitely get that in AG. The price point is going to be a little bit higher, probably around $100,000 higher for a property in AG versus Paso. The population there is about 20,000, but there's a little bit more going on there than what you would expect from a city of 20,000. It's kind of the hub for shopping and things to do for not only AG residents, but also Grover Beach, Pismo Beach, Oceano, and some other areas too. And on the east side of the 101, you're going to find what we call the village of Arroyo Grande. It's a historic downtown of about 6 blocks with wine bars and coffee shops and some fantastic restaurants. And even though it's only 6 blocks, you will find a wine bar on every block. And then on the west side of 101 in Arroyo Grande, you'll find those big box stores, your larger grocery stores that all those little beach towns are shopping in. There are so many more little towns that are deserving of being covered in these videos, but like I said, you don't want to be here for now. Okay, so we finally made it to the end where we will announce where our clients moving that contact us about Paso Robles wine country, but don't purchase inside the city of Paso Robles, and that is, dun dun dun, Atascadero, my hometown. Oh, Atascadero. So the reason for that is probably because it is the most similar to Paso Robles. So it's very close by, similar population just like we mentioned, and most of our clients have just never heard of it before, and once they discover it, they find that it's beautiful, especially if you do love that west side oak forest feel. There's just so much to choose from in Atascadero. As far as the percentage of our clients that contact us about Paso Robles wine country that actually buy inside the city of Paso Robles, it's only about 1/3. And for Atascadero, it's also about 1/3. So it's a pretty even split. When we went back and analyzed the data for our clients that purchased properties in Paso Robles wine country after moving from the big city, and they had contacted us asking about Paso Robles wine country specifically, we did find that very even split. 1/3 in Paso, 1/3 in Atascadero, and then the other 1/3 are in some of those other areas that we just talked about. And all of the areas here are just gorgeous. It was so fun driving around today, taking a little extra footage for this video. The hills are green, the sky is blue, the air is fresh. It's an amazing place to live. Also, if you are set on living inside of Paso Robles, don't miss our video, which is linked below, on the top 5 neighborhoods within Paso Robles. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.